Hello, hi. Thank you for finding your way to this video. My name's Lee from Pitchside Gaming Channel, and this is my 5 goalkeepers who you can sign in the first transfer window of Football Manager 2022 who will improve your goalkeeper side of your team. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so for this, I'm managing Southampton, and I'll be using Alex McCarthy as a comparison, so you can compare stats to a mid-level Premiership goalkeeper. Using Southampton as the example in the first transfer window, you can usually sell Alex McCarthy to a team like FC Midtjylland in Denmark for just under 6 million, and you can usually sell Fraser Forster to a team like Frankfurt in Germany for just over 4 million. So about 10 million in total in the bank. So suggestion number 1 is Josh Vickers. Stay with me, I promise I'm not trolling you. Josh Vickers is not going to be your first choice goalkeeper, but he makes a good backup goalkeeper or third choice goalkeeper. If you are starting as a League One side, even as a Championship side, he is a must sign. He will only cost you about 125k. And about 6k in wages. So you're going to make huge savings in comparison to Alex McCarthy and Fraser Forster. He is only 25, so he can be a backup for quite a while. He's a model citizen, so he's good to have in your mentoring groups. He's going to help other players develop. He enjoys big matches and he's a fairly consistent performer. So if you do have an injury crisis, he's going to be someone you can rely on. He's going to come in and do a job. Now he is very one-footed and he's only 6 foot tall. I usually like my goalkeepers to be slightly taller, but when you compare his stats to Alex McCarthy, there's not a huge difference, and this goalkeeper will give you a peace of mind if your first choice goalkeeper gets injured. So this brings me on to my next suggestion number 2, which is Ben Foster. Stop laughing. I promise I'm not trolling. I can convince you on this one. So Ben Foster has international experience and a professional personality. So he's a great person to have in your mentoring groups. He is better than Alex McCarthy in all but two attribute areas, which you can see here with the areas being aerial and speed that he's slightly lacking, but significant improvement on distribution. Now, Ben Foster, because he's 38, he will only cost you 375k. From Watford, and it'll only cost you 30k in wages. So you again, if you did a like-for-like swap just on the 2 first suggestions I put forward, you're going to make well over 9 million in profit. You're going to make a huge wages savings. So you're talking about 60k saving in wages, which you can then invest elsewhere in the squad. So that is my first 2 suggestions. Suggestion number 3 is Ergakan Kakir. The 25-year-old Turkish international is currently playing for Trabzonspor in Turkey. It'll set you back around 16 million. Now, he has a spirited personality and is a brilliant shot stopper. Capable goalkeeper that can play in goal for you for a good 10 years. With one-to-ones as 16, reflexes as 17, and agility of 16. This guy makes incredible saves. Like, he's an incredible shot stopper. With acceleration of 10, pace of 8, rushing out tendency of 6, and decisions of 13, I would not play him, this goalkeeper, in a formation where you have a high defensive line, or if you're looking to play a sweeper keeper on support or attack. Now, if you're looking for an alternative to Takir, as you want someone who can play sweeper keeper on support, then my next suggestion would be Diminic Livakovic, so the 26-year-old Croatian who you can pick up from Dynamo Zagreb. Now, at 26 years of age, he's only going to cost you between 9 million and 14 million, so this guy is ready to go. Where Kakir is better than Livakovic in the physical and aerial departments, Livakovic makes up for that in his actual shot stopping stats and his speed department, so he's slightly higher than Kakir. So Livakovic is a better choice for teams looking to play the higher defensive line with a goalkeeper on sweeper keeper support. So you might be sitting there and thinking, okay, but my team plays extremely high line with attacking football. I like my sweeper keeper on attack who can kind of play with the ball at his feet, come out, and neither of these 4 suggestions fits that role. And in truth, there aren't many goalkeepers that I would suggest for that role other than my fifth suggestion. So my fifth suggestion is Andre Onana. Now, the Cameroonian 25-year-old goalkeeper from Ajax, so he's playing in Holland, and he'll likely set you back about 22 million in that first transfer window. When compared to Kikir and Livakovic, Onana does lack in that shot stopping, but he makes up for it in his acceleration, his pace, and his tendency to rush out. Now, Onana is very eccentric, which is something that I tend to avoid in a goalkeeper because I like them to stick to my tactical instructions. Because he has higher decision stats than both Kikir and Livakovic, I tend to feel he's going to be okay in the majority of those situations. So I tend to trust him a little bit more. Now, you may be thinking also, well, Onana he's on the expensive side, especially compared to all those previous suggestions. And I am playing that money ball game where I'm trying to make money and reinvest it into Wonder Kids down the line. Onana is actually he's set his mind on leaving Ajax at the end of the season. So what you can do is you can declare your interest in transfer with Onana in that first transfer window. You can send your scouts after him to kind of back up that interest and kind of wear him down really until eventually he decides your club is the place to go. And yeah, hopefully on the 28th of December, as long as this guy's on your shortlist, you'll get a notification saying that you can approach to sign him. Hopefully you'll put in an offer that he accepts, and then he'll join you at the end of the season on a free transfer. It hasn't cost you a penny, and you've got a world-class goalkeeper that's can play on sweeper keeper attack for many years to come. Okay, so those were my 5 suggestions for the first transfer window. Me personally, I would go with Foster and Vickers as your first transfer window target, and then I'd look to try and get Onana ready for your second season for when Ben Foster retires. But I do have quite a few notable suggestions who didn't make the list for one reason or another. So the first one is Alban Lafont, currently plays for FC Nantes. Great goalkeeper, only 22, got a lot of room to develop, could be your goalkeeper for a good 10 years or more. But because he's only just signed for Nantes, he's not going to be willing to sign in that first transfer window, which is why I didn't suggest him. He's also on a bit of the pricier side. Usually in Football Manager 22, you can, after the second, third season, because Nantes don't always do well in the league, he gets a bit disgruntled. You can sign him for quite cheap. So I definitely recommend having him on your shortlist just in case he becomes available and you can pick him up on a steal. So the next recommended suggestion is Anatoly Trubin from Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, this 19-year-old has a lot of room to develop. He's not going to come in and be your first choice goalkeeper. He does require a lot of training and development. He's going to be maybe your cup goalkeeper. The reason I didn't suggest him in my video is because first season they want between 41 to 60 million for him, which is unrealistic for a player of this quality. But I'd keep him on your shortlist just in case he does for any reason come up on the transfer list down the line, or if he starts to develop really well on your save. Okay, so the next recommended player, who we haven't covered yet, is Georgi Mamadashvili from Valencia. The Georgian goalkeeper, he's only 20 years old, so he's got a lot of room to develop. He's a good shot stopper, he's got good distribution, and he's 6'6", which is fantastic for a goalkeeper. The only thing is, again, he's only really good in teams that play that low defensive line. And what I would say is, because he's only just joined Valencia, you're not going to get him in the first transfer window. It's why he didn't make this list. But he's someone to put on your shortlist again and keep an eye on just to see how he develops. And maybe you can pick him up cheap in your second season. Okay, so the next one is Ilan Meslier. Now, this guy, he becomes absolute world class. He will usually go to Barcelona or Man City on quite a lot of my saves. He's already starting goalkeeper quality. He's 21 years old, so he's only going to get better. 6'5", perfect for a goalkeeper. He is a little bit on the slow side. So again, if you're playing a high defensive line attacking football, maybe he's not the kind of go-to guy. I've seen this guy go up anywhere between 60 to 100 million in the long-term saves, and he does develop really well. So he would be on my recommended list to check out and add to your shortlist. Okay, so the next one I'm going to look at is Jay Gautier from Ajax. But if you're looking for a goalkeeper to play sweeper keeper on support or attack, this guy's not a bad shout, and you probably can get away with playing him in the first season as he develops. So yeah, send your scouts after him, see what they come back and say. But Jay Gaultier from Ajax would be my would be a recommendation from me. Okie dokie. So final recommendation from me, and this is for those for those of you who like to do the long term saves, is Andre Gomez. So the 16-year-old from SL Benfica. He's someone in the first 2 years, if you signed him, you're probably going to just do intensive training with him to get his stats up. He's not going to be able to come in and play first team football. Maybe you play him in the cup games if you really want to kind of get him that match experience. But if you're looking for a sweeper keeper on attack, you play that high defensive line, which the game really does reward in this version of FM, from my experience anyway. This goalkeeper is a perfect person. He's so well-rounded in all of his stats. So yeah, so those are my recommendations. From those I suggested, I personally would sign, as I said, Vickers and Foster in that first transfer window. I'd look to be signing Onana to join me at the end of the season. If I can, I'd be getting Andre Gomez in my under-18s to develop. Hopefully you found this video useful. Please put in the comments anyone you feel I've missed or any recommendations that you would give. This is one of my first videos, so if you've got any constructive criticism on how I can improve these videos and make it more engaging for you guys, then please also let me know that in the comments. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you can see more videos like this. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Look after yourself, stay safe, happy hunting in the transfer market, and bye for now. Bye bye.